that. Isn't that cute? Hi, Craig. I'm Suzanne Runyon, and this is one of, I think as host, our most anticipated events of the year. And we have a huge team that works with us to put together the most remarkable offers, like really, really good offers. We always have good stuff, but today and tomorrow and the other day, it's the very best. And I've got 2 hours lined up that I'm telling you one item after another after another. It's like fireworks on the 4th of July. And we're starting with this. Now let me explain how long ago I picked this. Probably, and it's my top pick of the event. I picked the Wise Foods Company. It had to have been 6 months ago to be here and ready for today's event. Now, what's happened in the last 6 months in terms of what's out there? And it just reminded me, as I stood here to talk about this, after the weather we've just had in places like North Carolina, upper Florida, you know, it just reminded me recently of how important this is right now and why you never know what's gonna happen. I certainly didn't know 6 months ago a couple hurricanes were gonna blow through the area. Boy, it reminded me today that you just have to be ready because you never know. And that's why I picked this 6 months ago. Now, what is our offer? This is a really big deal. It's from Wise Foods Company. We have, listen to this, since we've launched it, basically fed 2.5 million people for a week with the amount of product we have sold at HSN exclusively. Isn't that an amazing number? Customer pick, hello? Last 25 years, and here's what we're doing for the very first time. It is now a brand new configuration we've never offered. It is the lowest price you'll ever see. This is a stock up price to me. And get this, 5 flex pays for 2 hours. So if you want to stock up on your Wise, or maybe you know someone who's gone through the bad weather, or you just want to be ready. I bought this for my son when he went to college and said, hey, if you just need extra food because you're too lazy to cook, I got it for you. That's what this is all about. And joining me is my very first guest today. Hi, Stephanie, welcome.
Hey, great to be here. This is the answer to the what ifs in life. You know, we sell so many things that we want to have. This is one of those things, and this is why I like that Suzanne picked it, that we honestly all need to have. This is food insurance, and this is food that can be made simply by adding water. So I know when you hear that and then you think about emergency food, your first thought is probably, oh, I don't think that's gonna be something I wanna eat. But this is different. Wise Foods is gourmet emergency food with real vegetables, real fruits, and a combination that tastes great. Let me tell you a little bit about how it's made, because then you will start to understand what makes this different. Wise employs 2 very important types of people in their factory. Chefs, to start with, that make these amazing tasting recipes, and then scientists who have figured out the perfect way to package food. The state-of-the-art atmospheric packaging seals out things that make food go bad, things like humidity and oxygen. So with this special pouch, they are able to keep the humidity and oxygen away so that the food is safe in these special pouches for up to 25 years. So now we have great tasting food that all I do is add water and it'll be there for me whenever I need it for up to 25 years. Now you see that our pans right now are sitting on burners. You do not need to use hot water. We have heated the water up to speed things up so I can show you how quickly this food will reconstitute. It does go quicker in warm water, but if you are in any kind of emergency situation where you don't have power, where you aren't able to heat the water, this food will turn into a great tasting meal with cold water, with tap water. Anything that is safe to drink will put dinner on the table for you. Sure. And amazing tasting entrees and a huge variety of them.
Okay,
this is
tell
everything
the entrees,
you need.
because I think that's another thing. If you have Wise Food, we love, in fact, come have fun with us. Come say hello, tell us what you love about it. But it became a customer pick. How? People had to try it. So you get the pack home. This is gonna last 25 years, you right? So you get the pack home and everybody's trying at least one of them, right? And they went on and it was so impressive. They made it a customer pick for basically food that can sit on a shelf for 25 years. So the taste has got to be there. Thanks, guys. Look at this. This will feed a single person for an entire month. That's huge. And it was so funny, we were talking a moment ago, right before we came on the air. Here on the Gulf side of Florida, we did not directly get hit. Thank you, God, that's great. But what happened is all the people flooded our area and proceeded to wipe out our gas and our stores. And so even if you were here and thinking, well, we're not gonna get affected by the bad weather, we actually were affected by the bad bad weather because of the flood of folks who came here to be safe. So you just never know. It could be the snowstorm that hits. It could be the ice buildup. It could be the whatever. It could be, you know, in the summertime, the tornadoes and that kind of thing. But just to have it and know it's there for me, that's why we have it, is I never have to worry about it. It's the most important thing in my life that I have to worry the least about. Isn't that interesting?
Great way to put it. Great way to put it.
So once you get it once, and we have never ever offered a better time, and I would highly recommend getting multiples. Why? 5 flex pay. You get to keep it until the end of January. If you don't love it, you can send it back. We're in our return policy, and it's extended. On top of that, free shipping. We've never done the price before. So this is a huge configuration, and literally I have 1,000 to go around, and then that's it, and it's sold out. It was done just for this one single show, and I just think it's vital. But to my point, or to your point, explain the food. Yeah, because it's amazing.
So within your 112 servings, you're going to get 8, say, lunch and dinner style entrees, really hearty, great tasting meals. Those include a stroganoff with beef, also rice pilaf, beans, the chicken pot pie. You would never believe that this was reconstituted from water. It tastes like you slaved over the stove for hours. I'm going to hand the creamy pasta rotini to Suzanne, but look at what I see here, the carrots, the peas. Again, there are real vegetables and proteins in this food. My personal favorite is the Southwest rice and beans. You can see the coloring in that. It's got spice, it's got flavor. This is not bland, tasteless food. This is something that I would put on my table any night of the week. My family would never know it was emergency food. Tomato basil soup. It's got an amazing creamy texture. The chicken noodle soup. Those are the 8 hearty, stick to your ribs kind of entrees. And oh, by the way, now I have to tease Suzanne, who is loving, obviously. She's going like this.
She's just talking away. I'm like, oh, you're really good.
I have a bunch of food here. Tell me about the texture, because to me, that's what people get concerned about.
It tastes better than a canned something. Like, it really does taste gourmet, almost like a restaurant, you know? It has the right amount of crunch, or like crunch, but like the right, it's not mushy. Does that make sense?
It does, because think about what happens to pasta if it's not prepared correctly, or if it just sits. It gets slimy and it falls apart. The texture of this tastes as if you made every meal fresh, and then you add the ingredients of the vegetables that are in there, the spices. This is food that you want to eat. You don't have to save it for emergencies, because then you start to think, well, what is an emergency? An emergency could be the fact that it's Friday night, I've worked all week, I need to go to the grocery, and my family is hungry. That's going to be the emergency at my house later tonight. So get this out and feed it to your family. Maybe you're into hiking, camping, hunting. You should not go out into the elements without food with you because of the unknown. This is food that's easy to carry. Throw these pouches in your pack. You should have some water anyway. You're good to go. Push comes to shove, you can add the water to the pouch. That's how user-friendly this is. You can get into the tailgatings and RVs. I know people send it, as Suzanne mentioned, off to their kids at college or who live on their own who might not be eating enough. I always like to think about it for my older relatives, for senior citizens. Are they gonna go to the grocery if it's snowing, if there's ice out? We're headed into winter weather. There are times you just can't get out. You have this, you don't have to get out.
Well, and the worst part about it is all the people who are kind of hanging out here, and certainly I have friends. We used to be based in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with my husband in the military, and I just saw the news, and from Robinson County up through 95, it's still underwater in certain places. And I am sure my friends in Fayetteville had no idea that they were going to be, you know, have parts of the highway underwater and it'd be in this critical of a situation. They weren't even close to Florida, and they're not close to the beach at all.
Because you can't plan on such things.
You really can't.
You can't.
And so my thing is if you buy it, and you certainly get the best deal we've ever offered. Never been a better time than right now. You never have to worry about it. One of the most important things in emergency becomes the thing you worry about least. Worry about everything else, but you don't have to worry about eating. You know what I mean? That, and it's so crucial, especially with younger people, and they get a little freaked out. Maybe it's an emergency, you've lost power, they get concerned. Giving them a hearty, delicious meal makes everybody feel better.
Absolutely.
In the worst circumstance.
You keep your routine. Yes. You know, as a mom, I can say to my kids, it's okay that the power's out. Don't worry about the fact that it's snowing up to the windows, because we know that's coming in our northern areas. We're gonna be here, we're all together, we're safe, and we have food. So after the 8 lunch and dinner style entrees, we're also including 3 breakfasts, if you will. They're grains, the brown sugar oatmeal, the apple cinnamon oatmeal, real stick to your ribs comfort foods, and also strawberry granola. So look at the vast amount of food that comes to you. This is how we get our 112 servings, enough for 1 person for a month, 2 people for 2 weeks, or a family of 4 for a week. So a week's amount of food that will be there for you for up to 25 years, and all you do is add water. Also the ability to make 3 different pitchers of drinks, 2 whey milks, and an orange drink. And I really like the inclusion of the whey milk because of the fact that for kids, and you were talking about routines and comfort, milk isn't just something they need for their bodies, it's a comfort to have that glass of milk, especially in the evenings. I love the fact that it's in here because when you can't get to the stores, you don't get the dairy. If you do get to the stores and the shelves are bare, as we all witnessed in the last week, you're not gonna have the types of things like the fruits, vegetables, and dairy.
And I just want to show you too, and it comes in this box. I mean, literally, you can slip this under
slide it under your bed.
Yeah, put it under the bed. Stick it in a little closet space, and that could feed your family for an entire week. Isn't that remarkable? Now, I think what's really key here, and here's what we're going to do. What are we down to? All right, we've got about 5 minutes to go before we wrap this up. No one in any of their hosts over 3 days has chosen this as one of their host picks. So this is exclusive to you watching right now. To me, this is just the way that you sit back and go, hey, I don't have to worry about it. That's how we think about it at our house. Have I used our food? No, it just sits in the box. But do I know it's there? You're darn straight I do, but I don't have to be panicked. I don't have to run out. I don't have to worry at the last minute that I've got to get bread and things to eat. I just know in case of an emergency, it's there. Now, here's what we're doing. We have the best configuration at the lowest price we've ever done it before. And these have always been customer picks because it's delicious. It's hearty. It tastes good. On top of that, I want you to see the Flex Pay. The 5 Flex is really easy. That's any major credit card, and we accept PayPal. What it's going to happen is we spread your payment outs over 5 months, but you get it right away. And then it sits there until I hope you never have to open a single package of these. But the minute you do, you go, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that. I'm glad it was there. And that's our goal with this too. Give you something that's a tremendous value. In fact, this configuration, if you got 112 servings on the Wise site, is, I have it specifically written down, $149.95. So again, a tremendous savings, but only for the last couple hundred. We are down to, what, 700 left, and then that's completely sold out. Very quickly, I just want to mention, if you want to add 3 things, we have the veggie and sauces, we have the meat with rice, and we have the fruit and sauces. Those are on 4 Flex Pays for today only. I have very few of those, but those are in addition to maybe add a little, to extend the meal further, and to also give you some variety, more variety.
And you know what, not to point out that the Wise price is that much higher, but it's the 60 servings are $150.
It would be almost $300.
So, right, it
120,
would be, you're getting twice as much food for almost half the price. Yeah, so the
thank
value,
you for correcting me.
The value
I'm sorry, I was wrong.
amazing.
60 servings at 150,
right?
Not 112 servings at $69.95.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
it's an amazing deal.
I just think get it at home, try it out, and then be done. You know, you have it, you never have to worry about it. We knew it was going to be a fun 2 hours. This will be the first item to sell out, trust me, of many in our show. But I really thank you guys and the team at the Weiss Food Company, because to me, this is a non-negotiable. You know, other stuff, maybe you could, you know, certainly you could live without. This one, it's non-negotiable in my book.
Exactly. And, you know, the thing I like about this is it's a customer pick. And you know what that tells me? When you read the reviews, people are getting it home and trying it. This Southwest rice and beans I mentioned is my favorite. I put this water in here, maybe 7 minutes ago, and I've already got a great reconstituted meal. You can see the beans, you can see the colors. This is not bland, tasteless food. This is a dish that, honestly, I'd throw a piece of chicken on top of this and put it on the table tonight for dinner without even thinking about it.
And do it. Just trick your family.
I love that.
Just serve it. Don't show them the packaging. Just serve it, and they'll be like, oh, this smells so good. What is it? And you go, look. It can sit on the shelf for 25 years.
Exactly. I'm going to give you some from this one because this one's very hot. But when I do put this on the table and then you tell them that this was made from just water and that it's emergency food and it's under the bed in case there's a big storm, they're going to love and appreciate your forethought and your preparation so much. That is my favorite.
It is absolutely delicious.
Isn't that wonderful?
Even if you just stuck that in a burrito with, like you said, some chicken, you'll crack up because you're like, you always think this food's not going to taste very good. Why? Wise has completely revolutionized the idea of long shelf life food.
Yes.
They've totally taken it to a whole new level because it's actually created by chefs who understand flavor and taste.
And that's the difference with Wise. It's the two things. It's definitely the flavor. It's unlike anything you've ever had in terms of emergency food. We talk to people in the military all the time, and they're like, well, yeah, it's like an MRE. This is not an MRE.
My husband ate more MRE, or hated to eat, but he had to eat a lot of MREs in his lifetime. It is as far from an MRE, and I know what they're like too.
Yeah, this is a meal.
Oh man,
this is a gourmet meal. This is real food. So obviously the taste is one crucial important thing, but it's this pouch that really, really, really makes the difference, because this pouch is what keeps the food safe for you for up to 25 years. What else in your emergency kit will be there for you for 25 years? Tuna expires, peanut butter expires, crackers go stale.
You're trying to keep rice.
Yeah, and by the way, who wants to eat tuna, peanut butter, rice, and beans for a week? Not me. I would rather eat stroganoff. I would rather eat pot pie. I would rather eat Southwest cooking and have all these grains.
We're hungry today. Queen Plate Club.
That's all right. I love to see it. So Wise is different. Wise is an American company. Everything you see here made in the United States. They are here, and also to give back. We talked to them when Hurricane Matthew came up the east coast of Florida and then into the southeast, and they were busy talking to the state of Florida about how they could help and get some of these pouches down to people who were stuck in their homes, who were flooded, who had to leave their home and maybe not return. I like the fact that it's in an easy box. You can throw that in your car if you need to evacuate. Right. You can keep it with you. Put some pouches in your car if you live in a place that's going to get winter weather. I grew up in Chicago, always afraid of sliding into a snowbank and being stuck. You know, there's so many times in life where it was just a good idea to have some food around.
And we just went through it, you know, all the people, you know, a lot of people didn't expect to be in the situation they are in today. And God bless everybody. I mean, people who are still, you know, don't have electricity and all that stuff. Nobody really expects that to happen. And then at the last minute, everybody panics, they wipe out everything, and then they're like, oh my goodness, and it just snowballs. Just take that off your list. And it doesn't matter where you live. We were trying to figure out a place where there really wasn't any emergencies.
The perfect
what place in the country do you just have nothing ever happens? It's always just fine. Really, there's zero places. I was reading an article about it. Somebody was trying to figure it out. And literally, there's no place that's not, unfortunately, can possibly be touched by an emergency. And you know what? Also, we've gotten emails by it. People happen to just financially have trouble because maybe one of the parents have lost a job. And you know what? They ate this. And wow, that's a blessing when you need that,
and they were thrilled, I'm sure, because to not have to go to the grocery on a week where it doesn't work into your budget,
that's true.
This would solve the problem. There are so many things we sell here that I want. I'm guilty of ordering all the time.
Me too.
Shopping is very fun. We can all admit it. This is something we sell that we all need. This is not just a want. This is a necessity in life. We have to eat. This provides the food insurance to do so. And this isn't just food. It is gourmet, great tasting food where all you do is add water and it will be there anytime you need it for the next 25 years. Okay, it's a huge relief.
And one last quick reference because we're almost sold out. If you go to the Wise site, 60 servings, $150. This is 112 servings for $69.95. 5 flex pay just for this show. Yep. It's obviously on its way to selling out. We're pretty busy. And free shipping. There's never been a better time. And if you love the Wise or if you've been thinking about it, we've never offered a better stock up. Yep. To me, I would get, honestly, a couple packs of these using our flex. Taste them, try them out. You have till the end of January to send it back if you don't love it. We're going to wrap it up, Steph. Thank you.
All right, thanks for picking us.
Thank you, and thanks to the gang from Wise for me, too. I really appreciate that. Stay right there with everyone on the lines. This is definitely on its way to selling out, and I'll let you know when that happens. All right, coming up next, I have this next product sitting on my kitchen counter. Absolutely.